Broadcast is live. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Two Guys Reselling, our normal Tuesday night slot at 5 o'clock Eastern and 2 o'clock Pacific time out in California, where Chris is at. And this week we're just kind of continue the conversation a little bit. I think is fine with what Chris and I are talking about off camera, and because it kind of leads to our main topic today, which is how to price your eBay or your resale listings. Try to come up with some ideas and some strategies for making sure you're getting the most out of what you're talking about. So we were just talking about some sourcing stuff, which sourcing is the starting spot for what are you going to price your items at. We're just talking about Facebook Marketplace, and everybody knows this may be a sore spot for some people, but Goodwill auction site, shopgoodwill.com, Chris said it is. You can, if you spend a little research time there, you can find some deals and some stuff. Maybe you can buy something in bulk. Is that kind of what you look for, Chris?
Yeah, I look for bulk, and I also look for $1 shipping deals.
$1 shipping.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have like Hot Wheels cars or some type of collectible, and the price on it will be just an amazing price, but you'll look at the shipping, and shipping and handling is like an extra $20. So if you can sort for it, it's $1 shipping. They'll ship the order for $1 rather than $20, but only certain items are like that. They don't have it for a lot of them. I think only about 1,000 listings have that option, somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned Hot Wheel cars. I had a small lot of Hot Wheel cars that I found in a storage unit. Last unit I bought last summer, I think, but and I hadn't gotten to them yet. They were buried in a suitcase. But I went through those, and first time I've tried to sell Hot Wheels, and I was really amazed at some of the prices the Hot Wheels go for. And I have sold 2 of them, I think, out of that small lot, and probably already made my money back on, as far as the investment for not the whole storage unit, but just for that part of the storage unit. So yeah, definitely, it comes to collectibles, it's such a wide range of pricing and stuff. You got to do your research, and there's a lot of sellers, especially newer sellers, that just kind of jump in and they see a price that something's listed at and assume that that's the price they should try to sell it at. And I think that's where a lot of them, especially once you start building up your inventory, you get yourself into an issue there, and you wonder, why isn't anything selling? Well, because you don't have it priced right. Is probably, you may be getting views. You can always track that and see that you're actually getting somebody's attention looking at it. But if it's not priced right, they're not going to buy it. They're going to find somebody else if they have a price in mind of what they're wanting to spend. What are your what's the word I want to use? Stipulations or steps, maybe, when you're looking at collectibles as far as pricing goes. What are you looking for to make sure that you're able to sell your collectible stuff?
I'm not sure I understand the questions.
Huh?
I'm not sure. Are you asking me for my process of pricing?
Well, I mean, for collectibles, because the pricing can be so over the out of whack. You got low end, you got high end, and you sell more collectibles than I do. So is there kind of a consistent few steps, processes that you take to better understand what you got your hands on and make sure you can get it priced correctly and what you're buying it at?
Okay. So the first thing, if I see something I think I'm going to buy, I try to look it up real quick to see if it's sold on eBay before and how much it is sold for. That's the important part. I don't actually look at what people are asking for. I look for the sold listings only. And there's a good reason for that. What people are asking for, most of the time, they're out of their minds. They want way too much money for whatever they're selling. Um, so what I do is I look at the sold listings because that tells me how much someone's willing to pay for it or how much someone did actually pay for it. That information is gold in your hand. So we're talking Hot Wheels cars, for example. I don't pay more than 50 cents for a Hot Wheel car that is new in the package. Okay. I will pay up to 65 cents if the package is perfect. But for the most part, I have found that when people sell Hot Wheels in bulk, the package is always less than perfect, which is okay as long as it's still in the package and the package is mostly intact. That's the most important part. You can have some discoloration, you can have some staining, you can have curling, but remember, the more that package is damaged, the less you're going to get for the collectible. But if you're only paying 50 cents for something, then selling it at $3.20 plus shipping is more than acceptable because, first of all, they're super easy to list. You just take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, and then I'll take a third picture where I zoom in on the car so they can really see the detail. One of the things I love about Hot Wheels is their detail. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I don't, I don't look up every Hot Wheel car because if I did, it would take me forever. What I do is when I get an extra 5, 10 minutes, waiting in line at the bank, waiting for someone, well, waiting in line, just you're waiting, you're waiting. I will go through and I will shop for Hot Wheels cars, comic books, action figures on eBay. And again, I'm only looking at sold listings because it familiarizes me with what things are selling for. Because Hot Wheels, like everything else, they've got their regular, cheap to consumer, they mass marketed the crap out of it. And then they have their more select collectibles. And those are the ones that usually go for a premium. And they're usually of rare cars like the Lotus or the 1939 Silver Ghost. They're usually pretty rare vehicles. The Shelby Cobra. These are the Hot Wheels that sell for much, much higher dollar. But again, even if you're a car guy and you're like, oh, I know about cars, and you're thinking, well, this car is going to be worth a lot of money, but it's just in their Hot Wheels, regular Hot Wheels line, that's never going to be worth any money. They mass market it, and then they send it to the big box stores like eBay and Target, and they'll allow the stores to mark them down to whatever they want. They don't really care because that's their lowest end product right there. And you'll know because it'll say Hot Wheels and it won't say anything else. So, keep all that in mind. But for the most part, pricing on eBay is twofold. You need to give the customer a good deal, but at the same time, you need to make some money. So, yeah. So you can't price something. You can't open up a Hot Wheels collector book and charge them full book for the collectible. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, not to say that somebody couldn't put something out there like that and just come across the right customer at the right time, and somebody's got a bunch of money to blow for whatever reason, or maybe I've been looking for that forever. This is the only one I've seen. I'm going to go ahead and buy it, even though I know it's priced too high. Okay, but that doesn't happen. That's a one-off situation. Where in most scenarios, you're never going to find that product, that listing is just going to sit there and until you research it and figure out what price it needs to be at, it's not going to go anywhere for sure. I was watching a couple of videos before we came on talking about pricing, and we've talked about Terapeak before. I'm not sure if we did any actual show and tell on it or anything like that, but on eBay, I don't know, are you freezing up or am I freezing up? You're freezing up quite a bit on my end today. Yeah.
Maybe it's because your background's blurred.
Yeah, I am using a background filter.
Yeah, it could be a question of bandwidth.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Terapeak itself is the research tool on eBay. If you have a store, at least the basic store, I believe it's free to use. And if you're a newer seller coming in, you might want to look at Terapeak and say, is it worth me spending a couple bucks if you don't have a store? Or go ahead and get a basic starter store so that you can get to use Terapeak. It really is a strong product or a strong tool on the back end of eBay so that you can look at your products and get a pretty good idea of what you're dealing with. Let me see if I can share screen if it doesn't mess us up here today. Just show everybody where that's at. Here we go. So in your eBay store, you just come under research, the research tab, and you can just punch research products. Make sure the whole page loads here. Or you can hit Terapeak product research, probably the same thing. And, you know, just since we're talking Hot Wheels, hang on. We'll just look this one up because I held on to it just for my own fun at the moment. But it's the Knight Rider Hot Wheels.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. What is it? KITT, KITT. Knight Industries. What was that? Knight Industries 2000 or something like that. Is that what KITT stood for?
Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember for sure. So we hit that, and this is under the product research. It's not under sourcing. Nope, just product. Okay. So you can easily see average sold price on this car is $37.12. But we've also got and this is why collectibles, especially, and really any of your products, but especially collectibles, you want to look into pretty close, you know, sold anything from 99 cents up to $225. Well, that 99 cents could be cars that were on auction at 99 cents, and that's what they ended up selling for. And the 225 could just be a special edition one that something that was that one-off situation that somebody decided they would go ahead and spend that much money on it. So we can filter a couple of things. We can price filter. We can condition filter. This particular one that I've got, get that in front of the camera, is new in package. Got a couple of package issues on it. But like Chris said, it's just Knight Rider Hot Wheels. It's not really anything extra special on it to say it's a special edition or a rare collectible or anything like that. So, you know, I can say new because it is in package, and then that changes our numbers. Now we're down to $17.59 average sold price for that car, and even this price range has come down from 99 cents only up to $61. So you want to make sure you use these filters. Let's see, fixed price. See what that does. Yeah, so fixed price, when I filter that, we've got $8.99 on the low end instead of the bidding at 99 cents up to $28. So the more you filter in, the closer you're going to get to where you're going to actually sell, what you're going to actually sell this car for. And let's see if we can do. I was trying to get the high price. There's the high priced one. So why was this one high priced that had this car in it? Because it was a lot of 4 of them. It wasn't just a single car. And this one down here is a 2021 Knight Rider, but it's a Pontiac Trans Am. That doesn't sound right.
No, yeah, Knight Rider is a Trans Am.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. But
and you were right
the
about the name.
That box that this car is in is totally different than the one that I have. So it might have been a special edition piece or whatever. But
yeah,
it sold for a little more money at $15.99 in free shipping. But you can get your average shipping cost. You can see that 67% of these are free shipping. So if you've got newer cars in the box, there's a good chance you're going to maybe want to consider doing free shipping to get more eyeballs on it. Average shipping price $7.45. These are going to go out, in most cases, going to go out first class USPS. So $7.45 is probably a little on the high end. For me, that would be like me being here in Indiana and shipping out to Seattle, Washington, Northern California is probably my worst shipping cost areas. So Terapeak itself, as far as pricing goes, gives you a ton of information if you're new or if you're dealing with an item that you haven't sold before, to get yourself situated with where you can start. When I actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull that one up. Wheels. If I want to look at the sales comp, I'm not going to share a screen here, but Wheels Knight Rider. See what I guess I could share a screen again real quick. Sorry. Did it go? There it went. So, I've punched it into the eBay search. There's a bunch of them on here. 929 results that are currently for sale, but you don't want to stop there if you're new to eBay. This is a rookie mistake. You don't want to go off of what they're priced at. You want to go off of what they're sold at. So I'm going to go ahead and hit new condition, and I'm going to come down here and I'm looking for my sold items. Sometimes it's at the bottom of the page, sometimes it's at the top of the page. You just have to scroll down until you find solds, unless there haven't been any sold. Then you've got a problem. Now you've got a listing, and there's 929 of them out there that have never sold. So you picking up that particular item may have not have been a great investment, unless it just happened to come in like the ones that I had came in from a storage unit purchase. So it is what it is. Okay, so why is that not showing me solds?
Oh, did you hit the button?
Well, I thought I did. Just asking for more filters. Usually once you check the box, it usually just goes right to it.
Oh, there it goes. It was just slow.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there we go. Finally. Okay. All right. So then you got to make sure you're looking at the same product that you've got in your hand. This one right here is pretty much what I've got in my hands at the moment, and it sold for $8 in free shipping. So that, plus you look at a few others, and you can get you a pretty good idea on what you can mess with from this view, also along with Terapeak, to give you a really good idea what you got going on. Cool beans.
Mm-hmm.
The fun part gets when you're out and about sourcing. Chris is talking about he's shopping for stuff, so he's putting stuff into his brain, so he doesn't have to spend maybe as much time comping items out when he's trying to get things looked at if he's going to a sale somewhere. Where myself, I tend to get locked into looking up everything, and I spend maybe way too much time at the thrift store than what I need to. Today I went in, the thrift store was not a good sourcing today. I did not walk out of there with anything. You would think middle of the week it wouldn't be that bad, but wasn't much of anything to look at. T-shirts are an item that I like to look for and sell. But the sourcing prices on T-shirts is getting out of hand in the thrift stores, as well as anywhere else, or any other items that are out there. Of course, prices went up on everything. But when you're looking at a T-shirt that is $5 or $6 to buy a T-shirt used, if it's nothing special other than just being in good condition and maybe a character or a topic or a category that does okay with sales. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with the thrift stores unless they've got a sale going on, because sourcing is where you make your money at, and I just can't go in there and buy a cart full of stuff during the week anymore, and unless it's a sale day. And again, you've got to get out to your other sourcing solutions as well. I'm kind of isolated. I don't have a lot of stuff right here in town with me, so I have to go out of town, 30-40 minute drives to do my sourcing. But we don't get to do that very often through the week. It's usually on the weekend when we make time to do that. So yeah, it's just trying to get pricing right now with the way some of the pricing to be able to buy stuff. Chris has got the answer with making sure you're locking down prices in a bulk buy situation if you can find those. Is that how you do most of your buying anymore, Chris? You don't buy a whole lot of single items anymore, do you?
No, I don't, unless the item is special, or I think it's special, but it's not, and I made a mistake. Yeah. Normally I try to buy as many items in one place as I possibly can to get that price per item down as low as possible, because the way over the past couple of years, the way minimum wage has jumped up, that's forcing all of the stores, even the discount stores, the thrift stores, they're having to bump their prices up. So people are going to be looking at eBay, Amazon, Macari, and those local pickup apps. I forget what they're called. But anyway, they're going to be looking online to try to get away from those inflated prices. So yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look at see if I had the apps handy for me, and I don't think I do. OfferUp is one.
OfferUp, yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
I know there's several other ones out there, and depending on your area as to where you live at and the amount of people you have, whether it works out fairly well for you or not. You got your eBay fees are up, and they go up every year. Shipping fees, they go up every year. That's all your cost of goods, your overhead. Shipping supplies have went up. I can't go get a bunch of stuff from even the dollar store anymore on shipping supplies. It's still they've bumped their prices as well. And the cycle right now is that prices are higher. Incomes have come up a little bit, but that kind of pushed the prices higher too. Obviously, COVID messed everything up for a while, and is still continuing to. It's that circle of chasing the dollar that we haven't caught back up to it yet. The prices that we're going into, say, a thrift store and seeing and going, oh wow, I don't want to pay $4 or $5 for a T-shirt because I'm only going to sell it for 8 or 9 or 10 tops, $12 tops. We just haven't caught up to that price hike yet, or the people that we sell to haven't caught up to that, because I could go buy that T-shirt for $5 or $6, but I may still have to keep it at the average sale price that T-shirts are selling for right now, or have been selling for the past year or so. The customer hasn't caught up to saying, okay, everything's went up, even on eBay. I'm going to have to pay extra money for this T-shirt that I want or this Hot Wheels that I want. And that's where you also got to factor in that your overhead, but the shipping fees with shipping going up. What does shipping on the mail USPS? They go up like twice a year, don't they, on average?
Mm-hmm. They do.
So, everybody fusses about it. Oh, their prices went up again, but hello, it's been happening for a long time. Goes twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought, you bought stuff a year and a half ago that hasn't sold, and you got to discount it real heavy to get it sold, and now your shipping prices are higher, so it's hard to make even a small profit off of it. It's a tough road, depending on what your categories are and what you're selling, and even when you know what you're doing out there, it's still a tough road. So just got to slow down, take your time, and muddle through it.
But it does get easier with time.
I
said it does get easier with time.
It does once you know what your better selling items are and where you can get them from. You find you network. Chris is real big on networking, networking with his sellers, and they call him and say, "Hey, I've got stuff ready for you." You've got to get out there and do that grind of letting people know what you're doing. It's like myself. I got contacted the other day for some golf stuff, that pallet of golf stuff that I'm waiting to see it. I'm waiting to connect with him. Hopefully it's going to be this weekend. But he has stuff he needs me to sell for it. So once you get out there and network and let people know what you're doing and how you're doing it, those better buys will still come through, where you don't have to go out and chase the sale days at the thrift store like I tend to do. A lot of the Goodwills, the Goodwill that I have is for Northern Indiana. So they've got this card, and I'm a card carrying member, but they still do half off days and senior days and stuff like that. If I go to a town to the south of us a little bit, it's a different region for Goodwill, and it's a different card. And they didn't do any of that stuff. They used to do tag sales, like you go in and all the red tag stuff is half off or whatever. But they've stopped for that region. They've stopped doing that even. So everything is, unless I haven't been to one of them for a little while here lately to see if they're doing something different for any kind of a sale day or discount day. But yeah, they're basically normal price all the way through. So you just got to go out and hunt them up, find the good deals. Oh, goodness. Well, you got anything else to talk about today, Chris? We're about 30 minutes in.
No, I don't. Just pricing is simple. You just have to look up what someone has sold it for previously and sell it for around that price. I like to run 30% off sales. So if something is selling for $8, I'll price it at 10. It'll fall under a 30% sale, so it'll be $7. And the people will look at it and be like, oh, that's a much better deal. And they'll jump on it. Plus, the algorithm seems to like the sale events a lot, and those listings seem to really get pushed forward. But that's all I got. It's a simple thing to do.
Yeah. Talking about the sales stuff, the last few weekends, I've been doing 40% on old dead stock stuff. Last weekend I did hats and my shoes, because my hats and shoes have not been. Every now and then I sell a shoe, every once in a while I sell a hat. But I ran 40% off on that. Did not sell a hat or a shoe, but it did bump a couple of my shirts out the door. The weekend before that, I ran on my collectibles that I have in storage. I think I ran 40% off on those also. I might have sold one of those, but Everything else was items that were not on sale. So I think on for whatever reason, my stuff is working is when I put stuff on sale, at least it brings people to the store. It gets the algorithm moving for my store. They may not buy the stuff that's on sale, but I have increased sales over the weekend.
Oh crap! Jeff disappeared.
Bye.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Okay. So yeah, my when I run sales on the weekend, I've been seeing more of my other stuff sells than what the sales stuff does. So that's okay. However it works. Good deal.
All right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on out of here for tonight. I gotta go help finish up supper. So we will catch everybody. Try again on next week at Tuesday at 5 o'clock if you want to join in. And you can find Chris on his through Facebook there. And of course, he's running the stream live right now to his different platforms that he works off of. Mine will be the recorded version. We'll put it up on my YouTube channel here after a while, so you can make sure to check in on that. So if you find us on our YouTube channels, make sure to subscribe. That way you'll be notified when we do have new content going out. And we'll see you next week. So happy selling, everybody.
Bye, everybody.